The first thing I wanted to do is to congratulate all of you for the explosive growth that we've seen so far this year. Of course, the expectations of what to come are huge from my own experience or expectations, to put it like that. One of the things that I've been really working on over the last, I would say, year and years have been looking into other companies' P&L. Although I'm extremely focused on what we are doing and what Zeno are achieving, and that is my main focus. But of course, since we have been buying and done some acquisitions and mergers, that have given me some insights. So I'm going to talk about the importance of ownership. And I'm going to go through one of the details in Zinzino's ownership and why we are a little bit unique, in my opinion, and bring them to you. So it's a little bit of a different lecture. But of course, I want to start maybe with a short story. About 5-6 years ago, I came home from being traveling for some days, and I came home and I met my youngest daughter, Adele, and I could see on her face that she was a little bit down. So I was asking her, "How are you? What's going on?" And she was telling me, "Daddy, I got this problem." And I said, "Okay, what's going on?" Because she didn't really have any kind of issues or problems. So I was interested in what it was, and she told me the problem, and she started to give me the explanation and all that. And then I stopped her and saying, "Well, you can do this and this." And I was trying to give her advice. She was saying to me, "Wait," and then she went on, told the problem again and forward and backward, and how the problem was supposed to be solved. And again I interrupted her, and she was then a little bit harder than now, saying, "Stop it, wait." And then she went on, talked about the problem, and a man as I am, good at solving problems, I gave her for the third time an advice how to solve it. And then she said the profound words, "Daddy, I have fixed the problem. All I wanted was you to listen to me." So when I'm going through what I have today, all I want you to do is to listen to me so you get this. Because I'm thinking this is an extremely important message for all of you who are working on signing in recruiting partners. And I also want to make sure that all of you know the uniqueness of Zinzino. And it starts with ownership. And ownership is coming in different suits. And I mean, lots of different companies have different ownership. It could be private owned, it could be a shareholder, stock market, different ways of having ownership. The importance maybe in direct sales are more important to really understand who are the owners, what are their intention, what is their vision, what is their ambition, what is their commitment. So over the last, I would say, 3, 4, 5 months, and maybe the last 2, 3 years even, we have been watching companies having some struggles. And then that's when ownership and who is owning the company comes into play. Because you are giving your name to the business. You are the one who is fronting the business and the name and are the brand ambassador for our company Zinzino. So of course it matters if the ownership is not strong, or if it's any problems financially and so on. And we've seen that over the last, I would say, years, that companies have some sort of struggles. So that's why it's so important that you listen to me here today. At Zinzino, the founders, Hilde and Örjan, they started 20 years ago. So we're celebrating 20 years now. They did an extremely smart choice of clear thinking. What they did was that they said, okay, this is going to be a company that not only we are going to be the owners, we're going to invite people in the field, in the board, in the management to have a part-time position or a major position as shareholders. They wanted to create a company where the field leaders were having the steering wheel for the future. They had ambitions like crazy. Yes, we know all that. And that is extremely important. And that's why today we can say that I probably know 95% of the top shareholders. They are in the board, they are in the management, but for most they are in the field. Among the leader council members, you will find lots of big shareholders of Zinzino. All of them, together with the management and the board and the founders, we take the decisions on long-term thoughts and thinking. That's why it's so important to all of you that you understand it. Then you also buy some shares. So you also could be invited to have your vote when we take major decisions. So I'm super proud of the model that we have created. It's fantastic in my eyes because it creates stability, commitment, and consistency. As I've said many times, you need to have, in a company, you need to make sure that you have good owners, good board and good management and good field leaders, that's for sure. Then you need to have some long-term ambitions. We have that. We want to reach 100 million customers by 2050. I strongly believe in that goal and that vision and ambition myself. You need to make sure that you have a clear vision. Our vision is inspire change in life. Our mission is we want to inspire health and wealth for customers, friends, and family. We have some clear values. And one of the values was created 20 years ago when we said, together we are stronger, and there is a lot of power in just that sentence. We have some clear strategies that I've been laying out so many times. I don't want to go into them today. And we have a strong culture where the corporate life and the field life comes together and we are strong, united. So the ownership of our company is the fundamental for the long-term thinking and how we're gonna place out Zinzino's strategy and how we're gonna work to open up new markets, how we're gonna invest, and how we're gonna take bold decisions so we know for sure that our company will be built to last. Of course, whenever you are changing something, we are maybe entering a new market, we are adding a new product, we could have new members of the corporate team, we will have new leaders in the field. In all this, it's important to understand that the culture will be changed and probably, in my hope, improved. That we embrace those changes that are coming. That's the ability to be flexible enough to take the right decisions. The consistency has to go on the values, must be the values and the fundamental of the company, and keep a strength and an eye on those principles. And I'm proud of all the new members that we've gotten over the last year and the growth that we have, tremendously proud of what we have achieved as a company. It's not easy to keep up the ownership. And it reminds me about the story when my oldest son was about 7, 8, 9 years old. He had a temper, he got into fights. I was trying to teach him and coach him not to react so negatively to different comments that came up from mates and football mates and other people. Because I told him that although they are saying something to you, you can decide yourself how you're going to react to that. Yeah, but Daddy, they're saying these negative things to me and they are saying that and this and that. And I said, well, son, you can decide that, how you're going to react. You can think through it pre-handed. And then one day it hit me in my back head when I got mad, and then my son just remarked to me and said, "Daddy, remember, you can react to it. You can decide yourself how to react on this." So coming back to the ownership, coming back to our vision and the mission and how you're going to succeed, I'm going to leave that to you to decide how much you're going to work. But I can assure you that the ownership of this company are super strong. I'm so happy that I have the Leader Council and all the partners as owners, because it gives stability, commitment, and consistency. Happy anniversary. 20 years is just the start. I know for sure that the next years will be the best years in Zinzino's history. Thank you.